Hey everybody, this is Aviator with Aviator Games. Welcome back to this Gdevelop 5 tutorial series. Last tutorial was introduction. If you missed it, go ahead and navigate back to that tutorial. Um, Today we're going to be looking at creating a basic platformer game. Um, we're going to be adding behaviors, looking at uh, the events menu. What else? We're also going to be looking at the editor. Just some basic stuff to get you going. All right, let's begin. So let's start by opening Gdevelop and then open a new project, create new project. As always, let's do an empty game. Okay, first things first. Let's go ahead and create a new scene. Let's rename it. You don't have to rename it, but let's let's try to stick to a something normal or regular. All right, so I named it game. You can name it wherever you like. All right, just press it one time. Let's zoom out. Okay, let's close this. All right, so the first thing we want to do, let's create a player. So in order to create a player, you go to the objects panel. If this is not open, let's close it. Let's go right here. You click that button right there and it reopens. Okay, so you can click anywhere right here. Create a sprite. If you don't know what a sprite is, it tells you right here. An animated object which can be used for most elements of a game. And you have a lot of options right here. Alright, so sprite. To get to the editor, you want to make sure that you're not on behaviors. You see the little purple line right there that's telling you which one you have selected. Okay, press this little plus sign right here. Alright. If you want to import, you can. You can import your own sprite. But for right now, like I said, I'm gonna keep it simple. So I'm going to go ahead and make my own. All right. So here's your editor. All right. So right now, let's go ahead and choose a color. Let's do green. Let's do a bright green. Okay. This is a very simple image editor, and I like them. It has the layers over here. I haven't tried any of this stuff yet. Like I said, I'll do a tutorial on the editor later. For now, let's just create something basic. Zoom out. I'm using the mouse scroll or wheel button right there. All right. So right now we have to be using the rectangle tool. Let me see. Do the border. Fill tool. Boom. Pretty cool. Save to Gdevelop. All right. If you import it, your own graphics, one thing that you might want to do, or you will want to do for collisions, is you want to edit the hitbox. I'll explain that real quick. Right now, since it's simple, it's square. Right here it tells you this sprite uses the default collision mask, a rectangular that is, a rectangle that is as large as a sprite. So I don't have to really do anything. But let's say that you had like a circle or something like that. You would come down here, use a custom collision mask. So basically what this does, let's say you had an enemy and then fired a bullet. Right now, the way it's set up, if the bullet hits this object right now, it's going to collide with the edges. Okay, so that's what we want. But let's say we create our own little collision box or collision mask. You hit this right here, and as you can see, it creates this smaller little square, and we have to edit the values down here to get it where we want. So now if we get shot by a bullet, that bullet is not going to collide until it hits right here, until it touches right in this box. So you might want that in your game, but most likely right now you're not going to want to. So what we want to do is we edit these values right here. We want to put these little points in each little corner. So this right here, this top left corner is right here, this first little column. So right now, it's the way the X is set up. It is 16 pixels away from the edge. So we want that to be actually at 0. And you see what that just did right there. It moved this point all the way to this edge, and now you want to set it all the way in the corner. So in that corner on the y-axis, that's 0. So let's set that to 0. Okay, then you pretty much do that for the rest of the points. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So 0. Actually, let me explain this one right here. So this column right here is this point. So as for the x-axis, we set that to 0. But we want to set this all the way down here, which this particular sprite or object, its height and width, it's 64 by 64. So from here to here is 64 pixels. So we set that to 64 pixels. All right. Okay, now this one, we want to set this X all the way to 64 and set this to 0. See where I'm going there? Okay. Now we want to set this to 64 and then this to 64. Very simple. Now if you want to add more points, you would just click here, and then that will give you another point. All right. So we want to set the origin. This is where it's going to tell where to place the object in relation to this origin point. Right now we know that the middle is going to be about roughly 32. Okay, so we set the origin smack in the middle. Close that out. We're going to add a behavior. This is the player. We want to add, edit object, add a behavior. We want to add the platform. Platform character. Okay. Now click on the object once and then place it, or click on anywhere in the scene. All right, so now this has the platform behavior. So when we press play, watch what happens. Oh, where'd it go? So basically, when we add that behavior, the platform character behavior, it added gravity. So when you click on the object, oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. You have to edit the object, and you go to behaviors. You can see all the extra little spots you can edit. All right, so let's press apply. Okay. Now we're going to continue on the next video, part 2 of this one. See you in the next video.